don't come in the frame. We won't let you come in the frame.
Hello and welcome. Thanks very much. You're watching NDTV. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Ever since Rahul Gandhi brought up the Epstein files in connection with the India-US trade deal and suggested that America has India in a chokehold, the one minister who has been in the crosshairs of the opposition party, more specifically the Congress, is Union Minister Hardeep Puri. The Congress party says that his name is in the Epstein files and he should take moral responsibility. To talk about the Epstein files and more, joining us now is Mr. Puri himself. Mr. Puri, thanks very much for speaking to us here on NDTV.
Thank you very much, and I'm so happy the way you have introduced this, that there is a chokehold and I'm responsible for the trade deal. So I'm very happy to talk to you. So please...
But apparently India has been shortchanged. The Congress says the reason that India has been shortchanged is because of the Epstein files.
See, India has got a trade deal from the United States in a very difficult set of circumstances. My view of the trade deal, as a former trade negotiator, somebody who was negotiating simple trade problems with the United States in 1981, when they imposed countervailing duties on the export of manhole covers and industrial fasteners, which was the most basic engineering products we made. You know, the manhole covers which go over a nali or sanitary casting. Today, India is a $4 trillion economy aspiring to be a $20 trillion economy. United States is the world's largest economy, 30 trillion. Because of a set of circumstances, they imposed, after Mr. Trump came, Trump 2.0, heavy penalties and tariffs all around. Okay? Those tariffs are the subject of scrutiny elsewhere. But meanwhile, India ended up with 50% of tariffs. So this deal has brought those tariffs down to 18%. If you look at the sensitive sectors, and I think Mr. Goel and the MEA, etc., have talked about it, we've got a very good deal. In a trade negotiation, Padmaja, you have to give and take. I was once a young trade negotiator, all of less than 30 years old, and Mr. VP Singh was the Commerce Minister. And after we had won a case against the Maldives and the Textile Surveillance Board on textile against the United States on restraints on textile exports, okay, he called me to London and he said, in a very affectionate way, he said, "Aap to sare unki tajori le jana chahte ho." So I said, "Nahi, we did this anyway." You give and take. Yes, India will put something forward, but there are some core sectors. And I think everybody has made it absolutely clear that on the core interests of India, issues pertaining to farmers, interests pertaining to other sectors, we've not given an inch. And by the way, Padmaja, this is a framework for an interim agreement. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, if he only reads that, he would have come to the conclusion that this is something which is in the works. And by the way, for a country like India, which has 50% of its GDP in the external sector, that is the value of goods and services exported and imported, and the value of remittances, trade deals are absolutely crucial. And full marks to the Prime Minister. He did one with the EU 27. By the way, that was pending for 16 years. He did that one before that with EFTA. He did one with Australia, 9 deals in all. And this is a framework of an interim agreement. Therefore, for him to suggest that because of some file somewhere, India surrendered, PM has surrendered. So I think I liked what my friend Kiran Rijiju said. He said, "Koi माय का लाल अभी तक पैदा नहीं हुआ जो कह सकता है कि इंडिया, भारत और नरेंद्र मोदी has surrendered." So Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a young, not so young politician who doesn't read himself, who needs better advisors. I've always said a minister is only as good as his PS or his advisor. If he had read it, he would have perhaps taken adequate safeguard measures not to make an absolute ass of himself.
Now, let me ask you specific questions about these emails that Mr. Gandhi has referred to. You said that this was element of entertainment and buffoonery. But if we take a look at the contents, first of all, why was somebody who's a member of the BJP, and that has been underlined, you were a member of the BJP in 2014 already, when you were corresponding with Jeffrey Epstein. What was the need to correspond with somebody who in 2008 had already pled guilty to 2 counts of soliciting prostitution. He had been sentenced to 13 months of jail already. 6 years later, what was the need to correspond with him?
I'll tell you very frankly. In 2008, what happened, I was there, I had no clue. In 2013, when I joined the IPI, okay, and in the first meeting itself, we had a reasonably sense of unease. Therefore, the person who took us for the meeting, took me and the chairman, who's the former Prime Minister of Australia, for the meeting, he didn't tell us where we were going. So, and I insisted, he said, Anna, the driver will bring you there. So, I actually Googled the address. And I asked Anna, where are you taking us? She gave me the address. When I Googled the address, I told my other colleagues, I said, it doesn't seem right, we shouldn't go there. He said, yeah, we're going as part of a delegation, what is the problem? So my sense of unease was there. Insofar as how much was known in 2018, Padmaja, let me tell you, he served house arrest because the charge to which he pled guilty was prostitution, seeking the services of a prostitute who was underage. Now, I don't know what the facts are, but the fact is that when I come on the scene, I was PR from 2009. I had no clue who Epstein was, never heard of him. It's only when I joined the IPI, when I heard about it, I was uneasy. Therefore, if you read the email, it is an interaction with a man called Reid Hoffman, who on the respectability quotient is one of the most respectable people in the world, because Reid Hoffman was the founder of LinkedIn. I am telling him, and the correspondence between me and Epstein, I hope you persuaded Reid to go to India. And I told him what is all good about India. By the way, this was October 2014. No connect after that. In 2015, in an email.
No, you corresponded with him in December 2014.
That's what I'm saying. Uske baad, on 25th December, I think it was...
24th December. Yeah, 24th December, you send him season's greetings.
That's all right. There's another email on 25th December. I think it's next year. I don't know. We can find it out. Which he refers to me, this famous convict. And he says, two-faced ? And my boss says, if you meet an Indian and a snake, kill the Indian first. That shows you the level of the relationship. And that's it. 8 years. 3 or 4 meetings and these 2 emails. Yeah.
So when you say that you had a sense of unease when you first met Jeffrey Epstein, did you know of his history?
No, I did not.
Why did you meet him? Who introduced him?
No, I'll tell you something. When I went there, I did not know who he was. On the first meeting, we Googled him. Okay. Then we also had a discussion amongst ourselves. Should we meet him or not? The issue was going as part of a delegation. Uske baad bhul gaye. Uske baad there is the only substantive interaction is this one. And by the way, I don't want to be defensive on it. I meet a lot of people in my life. Many of the people I interact with at the political level have been convicted of something else. Yesterday, somebody was talking to me about somebody who was convicted of organ trading. And I said, yaar, ye kahan isko mil rahe ho? So I'm just telling you, in politics or in public life, if I was a government official, I would have sent a message to somebody saying, should I meet this person? Okay. But I was working for the IPI, and ICM was a project under the IPI. ICM was a project set up to see if the United Nations was fit for purpose on its 75th anniversary. It had the most respectable people in the world. A former Prime Minister of Australia chairing it. One of the board members is now president of another country. They were very famous people. And we were trying to look at the world. We didn't invite Epstein there. We happened to just go there for this meeting which I'm telling you about.
So this December email, there are a couple of words which are being marked out in particular. Just for the benefit of our viewers, let me tell the sequence of events. So first, you wrote to Jeffrey Epstein on the 24th of December. You said, season's greetings. Please let me know when you're back from your exotic island.
That I have an expression I use with everybody. I have some people who are well-to-do people. Which exotic place are you in? No.
Because that is the suspicious island, or that is the island where all the misdemeanors...
That would be, but I also said, where are you? Which exotic place are you in? Don't read any meaning into that. In any case, I'm asking because there is a discussion to be held. Okay. That is the part of the context of the discussion.
Okay. Because then when he writes back saying, I was writing you amazing, I spoke to Reid. You reply at 6:17 p.m. and you say, indeed, telepathy, give me a shout when you are back. and have fun, not that you require encouragement from others for that.
Yeah.
The Congress is saying this indicates that there
was
some...
And I knew, by that time, 2014-15, I knew. So what, you have fun means what? I mean, listen, the Congress is capable of anything. Mr. Rahul Gandhi goes on trips to Vietnam.
But what kind of fun?
I have no clue. Listen, he's not a personal acquaintance of mine that I'm asking what kind of fun. Mine is not that kind of relationship. I've never been to that island. He's never been to my house, etc. I am talking about Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman is the founder of LinkedIn. So that's it.
Okay, but there was no knowledge that you had what was going on that island when you speak of exhorting island.
No. All this came out much later in 2017. We had switched off from that. Yeah.
There is one other email that subsequently Jeffrey Epstein writes. This email where you have, he says, your November email with Reid Hoffman and Epstein, you talk about investment in India and the digital boost, etc., which is great. But did you at some point think that why do you need to go via Epstein?
No, it's not a question. No, hold on. It's not what happened. When you go in a delegation, so this is Hardeep Puri of India. He's sending a message to the General Counsel of the White House and saying, tell POTUS, POTUS means the President of the United States, to come for the high-level UN climate summit, because he'll meet a lot of important people. Gordon Brown, Prime Minister of the UK, President of Mongolia, X, Y, Z. Then he comes Hardeep Puri of India, Sultan Jabor of Qatar. So he's name dropping. When you go there, I'm introduced. He is the Secretary General of the Independent Commission. He's from India. Oh, India, great. And, Modi, great, new government, etc. Then he said, you should meet Reid Hoffman, etc. I am not seeking the meeting. Somebody set up the meeting. And he's inquiring, has that meeting taken place? I said, meeting is taking place this afternoon. And this long one, this long message. So instead of picking up the most innocuous things, like greetings or, I hope you're having fun, etc., etc. Look, Padmaja, please read the email. The second last para. If there was some wrongdoing in this, read. This is
the December email.
No. This is the 13 November one. Okay, see, read. My daughters, and I don't want to name them, they're given here, asked me in particular to thank you for sending them the copies of your book duly autographed. I have been remiss in not conveying that appreciation earlier. Do you think I would bring my daughters into a conversation like this? Reid Hoffman had written a world-famous book, which is, the title I forget me, which is really something all young people in innovation should read. So he said, how are you? What is? I tell him about my wife, my daughters, etc. Then he said, get me 2 books, and he autographs them. For heaven's sake, agar किसी बात का पतंगड़ बनाना है, I can give you a long list of things which we can talk about. But this email, and you see the hundreds and thousands of memes which have gone around. Well, Larry Summers is in trouble talking about sex, somebody else is in trouble. I'm smelling of roses in this. So if you want to, I mean, I'm quite happy to do that. But I think we need to, as a political system, worry about the leader. For this, I want to thank him, by the way, because he's given me an opportunity. Earlier I would have got a telephone call from you or somebody in the middle of the night. I would have answered it to them. But since he raised it in Parliament, and quite apart from the privileges motion which will be slapped on him, it gives me an opportunity to also do that. So that's the bottom.
The parallel is being drawn with what is happening in the UK, what is happening in the US. Howard Lutnick, he met with the same person, and he, before the Senate committee, including by Republicans, is being asked to step down.
Yes, he met him because he met him and went to his island with his children. That's a different issue.
But he went with his children and his
nanny. Hold on.
And this was just 4 years later. You met him 6 years later.
No, I met him. I'll tell you something. If I have to step down or being asked to step down, then I think people are living in cuckoo land. There must be something else I would have done. But because I met a person 11 years ago or 12 or 14 years ago, actually 14, 2013 and 14, which is about 12 years ago, when I was not a part of the government, okay? Those guys had this thing. In UK, the storm is about Peter Mandelson. The guy was passing on information to him. Information which was tradable. And he was passing on information. This is a violation of all kinds of ethics rules. I'm not getting into, I know Peter Mandelson, etc. So please, if we have the ability to draw a distinction between one and the other, So,
तो कह रहे moral responsibility होती है, guilt by association.
Guilt by association, to meet a person twice. Tomorrow you go and commit a crime and somebody shows the clip of mine saying you're guilt or you met Padmala Joshi and so and so. All kinds of things people will say about you. Yeah? And so just because I gave you an interview, meri guilt by association hogi. This Alice in Wonderland characters, Alice in Cuckooland, his father was the Prime Minister when I went to meet Mr. Prabhakaran, crossing the mines in Jaffna. Okay, and I flew him here for the India-Sri Lanka peace agreement. Now, because I met a terrorist, wo ho gaya. I mean, look at what the standards are. I said, listen, out of all this, if they want to come on something, I would advise them, don't take a 10-second clip from one of my interviews and put an AI generation on it. Please look at the context. What was the context in 2008? What was the context in 2014? As soon as we knew and we became clear on who this guy was, we cut our losses.
You've never been to the island?
No way. No way. No, not been on the island, not stepped on that aircraft. What's it? The aircraft had an interesting name I read in the email somewhere. But more than that, I cut my contacts with the IPI. By the way, the president of the IPI who introduced us was later sacked by the board. You know that? He was sacked by the board. And more stuff came out. So, you're working in an organization. I mean, I don't know who the owner of your channel is. Which channel are you with?
NDTV.
NDTV. I really don't know who the owner. But I'm really, because of people shifting out all around. I associate you with Times Now. Somebody has a case somewhere or something like that. Can you be faulted for working for an organization? You can't be. You can't be.
You've said, sir, that these were only professional engagements that you had. Let me quote to you another email. 7th June 2014, this was an email about a dinner. It was written by Epstein to Lawrence Summers, where he says, in my Sunday...
That I know, but that's Lawrence Summers.
House.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my house. So this was about a dinner that was held. Ehud Barak, he mentions your name. He speaks about Kevin Rudd and Woody, which I presumably
Woody Allen.
would be Woody Allen.
Yeah.
So the argument now being made by the Congress is that this went beyond professional association. It went for dinner.
No, hold on. I have never been alone to his place for dinner.
Yes, there are other people mentioned in that.
I have never been alone in the place for dinner. I told you I was taken by the person. I think that visit when we were ambushed, this must have been the one. I don't remember the thing. And because it was Kevin Rudd, me, it was Terrier Rod Larson or whatever it is. So you go, it wasn't even a dinner.
June 2014.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the exact day, June 14, October 14. It was not even a dinner. It was a sitting around a table, and a lot of very important people. There were some, other people also. And after about 20-25 minutes, when you see that you have nothing in common there, you say thank you very much and you leave.
Now, sir, there is this mail that you have spoken at length about, how there should be a visit to India by the co-founder of LinkedIn, about India's digital mission, etc. Which makes one, and you've specifically mentioned, newly elected Prime Minister Modi's focus to revive the Indian economy includes an audaciously ambitious plan to expand rural internet coverage, etc. And you're really talking up the government. Is there any connection of the Prime Minister with Jeffrey Epstein?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. I'm telling you, and that is what Rahul did to be really ashamed of himself. And they have not been able to bring it up. There is in some email, somebody said, oh, Modi's on board. Who? Somebody is bragging to him, somebody goes and meets him. And so, I'm telling you, anybody after 2014 May who would have met him, and if he had said, I want to meet Modi, nobody would have touched it with a barge pole. As I said, after a while you knew who he was, and then you said, thank you very much, period. Mr. Modi came in only 26th May 2014. There's no connection anywhere there.
Because, yesterday I was watching the Lok Sabha proceedings. At one point, Mr. Gandhi said, I am willing to substantiate. वो कह रहे हैं कि भाई हमारे पास सारा प्रूफ है, आप उनको बोलने ही नहीं दे रहे हैं और उनके ऊपर आप प्रिविलेज लाके मुंह बंद करा रहे हो.
मैंने वही तो करा. The essence of a democracy is participation. Participation का मतलब यह है कि you must participate in a discussion. पहले मैं कहता था ये shoot and scoot है, अब क्या कह रहे हैं ये spit and fly है. ये क्या करते हैं, ये बात करते हैं. तो हमने उस समय भी कहा, हमने कहा जब वो आप किसी, it's not this subject, everything I can authenticate. He waves a copy of the Constitution around. It has cellophane cover. So what I did is I walked up to a Congress member and I said, "Yeah, lunch on me. Give me a copy." Usne de di copy. I opened it. You know, the copy is very interesting. The preface to that was giving Ma Behan ki gali to the Congress on the imposition of the emergency, on that copy of the Constitution. So, itna bhi homework nahi karte that they distributed a copy around which said the only time since India became an independent country and the Constitution was enacted, that there was a curtailment of civil liberties and, you know, all fundamental rights were suspended was June 1975. And he's waving that book around. So please, please, he not only doesn't read, he has a group of advisors who have got him into this spot. On this spot, he has some answering to do, because if he produces all this authentication evidence, we are going to go after him in a privilege motion. Not me, my party. And that's what I tell people. See, don't think that in a democracy, you can level an allegation. Well, depending on who it is. As I said, I've heard this innuendo again, and I want to share something in the interest of full disclosure with you. Yes, it struck my mind I should respond now. But all my advisors said, sir, you know, come into my parlor, said the web to get this. What is the expression?
Said the spider.
To the web. So I said to come into my parlor, let's have some fun. And yesterday he gave me that opening. And I'm enjoying every minute of it.
What if Rahul Gandhi was to walk up to you like he walked up to Ashwini
Wink again.
Vaishnav
Wink again.
and Prahlad Joshi? Yesterday they were doing a press conference. He walked up to them. What if he was to walk up to you today in Parliament? What would you tell him?
I'd tell him, I hope you're having fun. I hope you're having fun. Because I sent you a note, and now it's that if you had read the note and, you know, sent me a reply, etc. Yesterday I gave the same note out in a press conference. That's all I did.
Okay. Finally, I want to ask you, Mr. Hardeep Puri, you are saying conclusively there was never any personal relation you had with Jeffrey Epstein. You have never been on his plane or his island, and the Prime Minister has never met him.
Never, never. Prime Minister had nothing to do with it. Nor have I had any personal relationship other than when I was with the IPI, 8 years. I became ambassador to the UN on May or June 2009. I became a minister in September 2017. In 8 years, if you meet a guy 4 times, and that also meetings are 6 months or 1 year later, and they said, you know, India, well, I will never miss an opportunity, whether I'm part of the government or not, to say good things about India, unlike the honorable leader of the opposition who's running us down all the time.
But just to be clear, you have said there are 3 to 4 references and 3 million emails, but the DOJ library, if you search them, they show 46 results against your name.
No, that is their, unki aapas ki hai. Uski aapas ki hai wo, unke wo hai. There are no, I don't, somebody may refer like there is an email which nobody is referring to. I think it's when before the climate summit is taking place there. That climate summit, they said...
so there are 430 references against just Hardeep and 46 results against the name Hardeep Puri. That is what is being quoted as, that you are extensively there.
No, look, I'll tell you something. This is repetition. The same thing is repeated several times, like depending on how you are. For instance, if there is a reference to Padmaja and Hardeep, and there is another one with 3 other journalists, you tweet one, so they're counting it down. I'm saying categorically that in 8 years, I met the guy 3, maximum 4 times. One was that thing with the Prime Minister of Israel, you know, Woody Allen, Kevin Rudd.
Yes.
That's where we've been taken. We had a board meeting of the ICM, all right, and some of the board members, and that is one. And so I've just told you, look, categorical, if you can find something else, be my guest.
All right, sir, for taking all the questions on the chin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr.